Good morning students. In previous lecture we discussed about fission and fragmentation, and today we discuss about regeneration. These are the methods of asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction के methods हैं, and in previous lecture we discussed two methods, and today we discuss about third method of asexual reproduction, that is known as regeneration. Firstly, I tell the meaning of regeneration. It is the ability of an organism to regenerate, to form lost parts of the body which have been removed as by injury. That process is known as regeneration. Is it clear, beta? Most of the regeneration ability occurs in Hydra and Planaria. Hydra and Planaria broken up into pieces, and each piece form their lost parts and form a new individual by the process of regeneration. And these regeneration takes place in special cells, and these special cells to form new cells, new tissues. Is it clear? नई cells और tissues की formation करते हैं, and these cells have some changes takes place in these cells have some changes takes place in organized manner, that is known as development. And one thing more, regeneration does not occur for reproduction. It occurs due to some environmental circumstances. कुछ environmental circumstances की वजह से organism pieces में convert हो जाता है, और each piece regenerate lost parts and they form a new individual. Is it clear, beta? Again I repeat, regeneration process. Regeneration process, it is the ability of organisms to regenerate lost parts of body to regenerate lost part of body. Is it clear, beta? इस तरह से भी लिख सकते हैं. It is the ability of organism to form the body parts which have been removed as by injury. Is it clear, beta? अपने lost parts की formation कर लेना. It is the ability of organism to regenerate the lost parts of the body which have been removed as by injury. Example, Hydra and Planaria. Like it is Planaria, and it broken into pieces. In this way, this one is Planaria, and due to the environmental circumstances, it broken up into many pieces, and each piece form their lost parts, and to form a new individual. That process is known as regeneration. In this way, they form a full part. That process is known as regeneration, or regeneration takes place in special cells, and these cells to form a new cells and to form different cells and tissues, and these changes takes place in organized manner, that is known as development. And one organism split into many pieces, it is not done for reproduction, it is done due to the some इन्वायरमेंटल सर्कमस्टांसेस. जैसे एक और एग्जांपल मैं आपको बता रही हूँ, नेचुरल अर्थवॉर्म है. अर्थवॉर्म क्या करता है, प्लॉविंग के टाइम पीसेस में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है जो सॉइल के अंदर प्रेजेंट होता है, और फिर वो अपने जो लोस्ट पार्ट्स हैं, जो उनके पीसीज हैं, जो अपने उसके लोस्ट पार्ट्स हैं, वो दोबारा से उनकी फॉर्मेशन कर लेता है और नए और अर्थवॉर्म की फॉर्मेशन हो जाती है. वो रिप्रोडक्शन के लिए नहीं करते, क्योंकि इन्वायरमेंटल सर्कमस्टांसेस की वजह से वो पीसीज में डिवाइड हो जाते हैं. इज इट क्लियर बेटा? नेक्स्ट वी डिस्कस अबाउट बडिंग. Firstly, I tell the meaning of budding. New organism is reproduced by outgrowth which arise from the पेरेंट बॉडी. एक बर्ड से नए ऑर्गेनिज्म का बन जाना, और वो बर्ड कहाँ पर अराइज होती है, पेरेंट बॉडी पे. दैट प्रोसेस इज नोन एज बडिंग. इट इज क्लियर बेटा? इट इज द प्रोसेस by which new organism reproduced by outgrowth which arise from the parent body. Example is Hydra and yeast. Example, Hydra and yeast. Hydra and yeast outgrowth. What do you mean by outgrowth? Outgrowth is known as bud. Outgrowth को हम bud बोलते हैं. जैसे Hydra है, like this. Hydra form a outgrowth. This outgrowth is known as bud. And bud fully grow like their parent. And after the maturity, when it become mature, it detach means it separate from the parent body. Then it separate from parent body. Next step, and bud is also grown like their parent, अपने पेरेंट की तरह वो ग्रो करेगी. When it become mature, ये मैच्योर हो जाएगी, then it separate from, यहाँ से वो क्या हो जाएगी, separate and form a new individual. And next step, then it separate from form a new individual. In this way, Hydra grow with the help of bud. Again I repeat, it is the process in which organism reproduced by outgrowth, which that outgrowth arise from the parent body, and these outgrowth is known as bud, and bud fully grown like their parent. And when these bud become fully mature, fully grown, then it detach means separate hona, it detach from the parent body and form a new separate individual. Is it clear beta? That process is known as budding. इसी तरह से budding takes place in yeast. yeast के अंदर भी होती है, like one cell is yeast and it form a outgrowth. That outgrowth is known as bud, and these bud when fully grown, it separate from parent body. It separate from parent body and form a new individual like this. Is it clear beta? Budding process takes place in Hydra and yeast. Clear? Next we discuss about spore formation. Next one is spore formation. Spore formation takes place in rhizopus, in bread mold. You see about that moist bread. Moist bread, white colored thread are arises. That is known as hyphae. Hyphae is not a reproductive organ, but at the tip of hyphae, blob like structure, spherical like structure is present, that is known as sporangia. Like this, I tell you about. That is known as sporangia, and that is thread like structure is known as hyphae. Is it clear beta? In moist bread, white color thread is arise, that is known as hyphae. Hyphae is not a reproductive organ. At the tip of hyphae, blob like structure, that is known as sporangia. Inside the sporangia, cells and spores are produced and formed. इनके बीच में क्या होते हैं? Spores. And when spores become mature, sporangia wall rupture. ये sporangia wall क्या हो जाती है? Rupture, and spores are released. Spores are released, and each spore form a new thread-like structure that is known as hyphae. So network of hyphae is known as mycelium. उस network like structure को हम क्या बोलते हैं? mycelium. Again I repeat, in moist bread white color thread is arise that is known as hyphae. Hyphae is not a reproductive organ. At the tip of hyphae, blob-like structure is present, is known as sporangia. Inside the sporangia, spores are germinate, and when spores become mature, sporangia wall rupture, and spores are released. Each spore form a new thread-like structure that is known as hyphae. So बहुत सारे स्पोर्स बहुत सारी हाइफी बनाएंगे. सो नेटवर्क ऑफ हाइफी इज नोन एज माइसीलियम. वो नेटवर्क ऑफ हाइफी को हम क्या बोलेंगे? माइसीलियम. इज इट क्लियर बेटा? अंडर द अनफेवरेबल कंडीशंस, अनफेवरेबल कंडीशंस में ये स्पोर्स अपने आप को रेजिस्ट करके रखते हैं, क्योंकि इन स्पोर्स के बाहर एक थिक वॉल होती है जो अनफेवरेबल कंडीशंस को टॉलरेट करके रखते हैं. और जैसे ही फेवरेबल कंडीशंस आती हैं ये स्पोर्स क्या करते हैं? जर्मिनेट कर जाते हैं. ये एक एडवांटेज है स्पोर फॉर्मेशन की. दोबारा से मैं रिपीट कर रही हूँ कि स्पोर फॉर्मेशन की क्या एडवांटेज है. जब ये स्पोर्स स्पोरेंजिया से रिलीज होते हैं, यदि अनफेवरेबल कंडीशंस हैं तो ये अपने आप को उसको रेजिस्ट करके रखते हैं अनफेवरेबल कंडीशन में. क्यों? क्योंकि ड्यू टू द प्रेजेंस ऑफ थिक वॉल अराउंड द स्पोर. स्पोर के चारों ओर एक थिक वॉल होती है जो उसको उस कंडीशन में रेजिस्ट करने में हेल्प करती है. एंड व्हेन फेवरेबल कंडीशन विल कम देन इट जर्मिनेट. इज इट क्लियर बेटा? Thanks for watching. In next video we will discuss about vegetative propagation and tissue culture.